Hello folks, and thank you for joining us on The Extra Point, your only place for local high school sports and activities. I'm your host, Dolly Fonseth, and today we're at Greeley Central High School, where in a few moments we're going to be talking to the boys varsity basketball team. But first, we had cameras out and we have got some highlights. Let's take a look. We will start out with some hard court action as the Greeley West Spartans looking to corral the visiting Mountain Range Mustangs. The Spartans wasted no time setting the pace and tempo of this game. Daisha Schumpert pushes the ball up the court to Harper Sheets and gives it right back, and Schumpert takes it in for two. Early on, Schumpert had the hot hand for West. Here she goes strong to the iron and drops in the bucket. Mountain Range hung with the Spartans in the first quarter, keeping it close. And at the end of the first quarter, this game was tied at 8-8. In the second quarter, the Spartans went to their outside game. Harper Sheets connects from behind the three-point arc for the trifecta. Sheets would lead all scorers with 19 on the night. The Spartans got scoring from up and down their lineup. Mariah Campbell rings up the hoop here. But it was the Mustangs who would go into the halftime break with the lead, as they were up 2 over the Spartans, 21-19. In the second half, the Spartans came out firing as they started to take control of this game. The Spartans would have 3 double-digit scorers on the night. Defensively, West shut down the Mustangs' attack. Daisha Schumpert continued to be a scoring force for the Spartans. West put the game away in the fourth quarter. The combo of Schumpert and Sheets continued to pay big dividends for West. The Spartans take this one from Mountain Range 52-44. Moving on to the boys' action and a matchup between the Northridge Grizzlies and the Skyline Falcons. We will pick up action in the second half, and Skyline came out hot after the halftime break. The Falcons would open a 24-15 lead in the third quarter. But the Grizzlies did a great job of not letting this game get out of hand. Blake Carlin will drive and pull in the Skyline defenders and then dish it off to Gerard Martinez for the lay-in. A little later, Jason Barraza will hit the nice turnaround fade for 2. Time running out in the third quarter, Juan Arroyo gets the rebound and keys the fast break with the outlet to Kyle Bernhardt, who takes it in for 2. And at the end of 3, it was Northridge 30 and Skyline 27. In the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies would hang on to the 3-point lead. Martinez goes strong to the hoop for 2, and it was Northridge 34-31 over Skyline. But the Grizzlies couldn't totally shake the Falcons. Skyline would keep it close as this game went down to the last minutes. Up by 1, Juan Arroyo coolly sinks this pull-up jumper to increase the Northridge lead back to 3 points. After a big defensive stop, the Grizzlies put the game away with this Juan Arroyo three-pointer that made it a 43-37 game. The Grizzlies would ice the game from the free throw line as they beat the visiting Skyline Falcons 51-41. A big crosstown rivalry on the wrestling mat as the Greeley West Spartans took on the Greeley Central Wildcats. This match started fast in the 152-pound division. Wildcat wrestler Willie Sandow got the pinfall victory over Nico Hyatt with 0.4 of a second left in the second period. In the 160-pound division, Kazim McRaliev got the decision. That win plus a forfeit win in the following match would give Central an early 15-0 lead. Spartans junior Jesus Flores got Greeley West on the board with a hard-fought 3-1 overtime win against freshman Logan Yaden in the 182-pound match. That victory rallied West from a 21-3 deficit. The Spartans won 5 of their next 6 contested matches, 3 by pin, trimming the gap to 27-24. In the 220-pound division, Austin Waterman earned the pinfall victory over Austin Mahaffey in 40 seconds. In the 106-pound division, Spartan wrestler Dylan West pinned Wildcat wrestler Derek Guerva in a time of 3 minutes and 1 second. The 113-pound division match went to a decision, with Anthony Garza of Greeley West getting the win over Central's Brandon Rivas, 6-3. Moving up in weight class to the 120-pound division, it was a pinfall win for West, as Adrian Delacruz pinned Andrian Bahar in a time of 4 minutes, 23 seconds to record the win. The only Central win during this stretch was AJ Pollin's pinfall victory over Joshua Corral in a time of 23 seconds in the 285-pound division. Wildcat senior 126-pounder Zach Badile stopped West's momentum by earning a 15-6 major decision against freshman Joel Huskerson to give the Wildcats a 31-24 lead. But West answered right back in the 132-pound match, as Emilio Martinez got a big win for West with a 13-6 decision over Eric Guerrero to make the score 31-27 in favor of Central. While Martinez's hard-fought win set the stage for a Spartans comeback victory, it was Central who came up big in the final two matches. Central senior 138-pounder Bobby Molinar really crushed the Spartans' comeback bid with a 5-0 win against junior Shane Ricks. That put the Wildcats up 34-27 with just one match left. Central sophomore 145-pounder Paul Robeson put an exclamation point on the win with an 8-2 win against freshman Logan Trzeziak in the last match. And the Wildcats get the win 37-27 over the Spartans, and they get bragging rights in the city for another year as well. We hope you enjoyed those highlights. Don't forget, every night right here on Channel 16 at 7 p.m., you can see the game of the week. It's always a nail biter. So again, Channel 16, 7 p.m., don't miss it, game of the week. Now, folks at home, I know you have a favorite team and you want to see their standings. Well, we'll take a look at those standings, and when we come back, we're talking Greeley Central basketball right here on the Extra Point.
You got the backside now.
Welcome back to the show, folks. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Wildcats boys varsity basketball team, Troy Graefe. Troy, thank you so much for taking time out of your practice to chat with me.
It's my pleasure, Dolly.
Excellent. So you've got 3 games left. Tell me, what is it that you're doing to make sure that these boys finish the season off strong?
Well, we're just trying to stay sharp. we're doing a lot of the things that we've done all season long. Hopefully we're a little sharper and crisper, a little more familiar with what we do now. We want to stay on top of our conditioning and make sure that that we don't wear people out, but at the same time stay focused on what we do well. And we don't do a whole lot of preparation for specific preparation for different opponents, but if there's something we feel like we really need to address, then we'll do that as well.
Coach, obviously having a healthy team is going to really, really benefit, you guys in the playoffs. Tell me, do you have any injuries, Aylin, do you have any concerns, anything like that with your team being strong?
We've been pretty lucky in terms of our health for the season. However, last week, one of our seniors, one of our leading scorers, Eric Damrell, got knocked to the floor in our game against Mountain View, and he actually broke his left arm. And he's been fitted with a cast, and we're hopeful that in a couple weeks, if we're still making our playoff run, he'll be able to rejoin us. But that was a tough one for us. Other than that, we've got nothing that you don't expect this time of year. A couple kids with some sore ankles and a couple bumps and bruises. But other than that, we're pretty healthy.
Coach Grafey, looking back on this season, tell us about some highlights with you and your boys.
Well, I think the biggest highlight has been just seeing them improve and become really a good team over the last probably 4 or 5 weeks. We got off to kind of a tough start. We were missing some guys. And early in the year, we were 2-6 at Christmas, so we were struggling a little bit. But since the holiday break, I think we've gone 8-3 or 9-3. And we've really started to play well, and they're starting to play with some confidence. And I think we've evolved into the team that I think we can become. And I think we've got a lot of confidence heading into this playoff run. So that's been the biggest highlight. We've had some kids that have made some nice gains individually. We've had some big games. Sheldon Darnell had 25 points and 15 rebounds one night, and we've had Danny Butheris had 8 steals one night against Silver Creek. So we've had some nice individual efforts. But really the most fun has been seeing these guys come together as a team and really grow and become a pretty good high school team.
Coach Grafey, I thought that this was extremely awesome. You've been the head coach here at Greeley Central High School since 1997, and I understand a lot of the other coaching staff has been here for a copious amount of time. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have. We've been here probably longer than many of us would care to admit. But Coach Kevin Ronke, Brett Shaw, Dave Gonzalez, and I have been together on this staff. I think we've been together for 14 years now. And that, you just don't, I would be surprised if there is a staff in the country that has been together that long, high school, college, at any level. And we're really proud of that. And one of the things it does, in addition to us all being together on the staff here, we all teach in the building. We've all been Wildcats for a long time. Coach Ronke actually graduated from Greeley Central High School. So we have a great love for this building and this program. The fact that we've been together so long has given us a great deal of continuity. The expectations have been the same for the kids for a long period of time. So we've just got a lot of stability in our staff, and it really, when kids come into our program, there's no surprises. It's the same thing from the time they're freshmen all the way through. And because we've worked together and because we love this place and this program so well, I think it's really done a great deal as far as stability and continuity for our kids.
Coach Grafey, thank you so much for taking time out of your practice and chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you guys for coming out.
Absolutely, and good luck with you to the rest of the season, okay?
Thank you.
Also joining us on the show, folks, is senior captain Shane O'Connell. Shane, thank you so much for taking time out of your practice. Absolutely nice to meet you too. So you've got 3 games left. It's coming down to the wire. Tell me, what is it that you're doing specifically to finish the season strong?
Well, we just got to remember to listen to what our coaches preach, and that's defense and crashing the offensive boards, and just being a strong player, and just run our offense efficiently, and remember to play defense, because defense wins championships, as one of our assistant coaches, Coach Shaw, likes to say a lot. So.
Shane, you're a senior this year. And it's just amazing to me how student athletes can balance their academics and their athletics. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we just follow what our coaches say as well. That academics comes first, but once we have everything in line in there, we can get to work on the court and get to winning some games.
Shane, you're a senior this year, and graduation is right around the corner. Why don't you tell everybody what are your plans for after you get your diploma?
Well, I plan to go to CU and study film. I've always found movies and that industry very interesting and look to get into that. I don't plan on playing basketball except for maybe a little bit of intramural basketball here and there. But other than that, just my studies and focusing on the future and what's next for me. So.
Shane, thank you so much for taking time out of your practice to chat with me. I absolutely appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good luck with the rest of the season,
Thank
okay?
you very much.
Absolutely. This is Shane O'Connell. I'm Dolly Fonseth. Stick around. We're going to wrap up the Extra Point right after this. Welcome back to the show, folks. Don't forget to tune in next time for our winter wrap-up show. That's right. Winter wrap-up show is already upon us, so stick around for that. It's going to be a great one. We do still have some local schools playing, so why don't we take a look at their schedule? These student athletes work extremely hard in the classroom so they can come out here and compete week in and week out. I want to send a message to all students watching. You guys stay focused, put academics first, and I promise you success is going to follow you absolutely every step of the way. Now, folks at home, we want to hear from you at the Extra Point. That's right, and all you need to do is slide in front of your computer and send us an email. You can send your emails to rnorwood@greeleyschools.org. Again, that's rnorwood@greeleyschools.org. Send us an email, whether you like the show, had any suggestions, any kind of feedback we receive, we're going to read it on air and you'll be a local celebrity for a day. So send us some emails. And while you're in front of your computer and you want to check us out online, you can do so by going to www.greeleyschools.org. Again, that's www.greeleyschools.org. Click on the link video, and there you'll find us, the Extra Point. I want to take this time also to thank the Greeley Central boys varsity basketball team for letting us invade their practice. Thank you so much, guys, and good luck to you. We'd also like to take this time to thank Dean Popejoy for all those great highlights. Great job, Dean. And the man behind the camera week in and week out, Brian Sappy. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. And folks at home, we want to thank you for watching. Don't forget, it's our winter wrap-up show next, so you'll want to stay and watch that. It's going to be awesome, so stick around for that. I'm Dolly Fonseth. Again, thank you for watching The Extra Point.